I was his forever, but I was just his option. It all started when Maya met Arjun during her final year of college. He wasn't the loudest man in the room, but there was something magnetic about him. His calm confidence, the way he listened more than he spoke. He made her laugh in the quietest ways and made her feel like the center of his world. When they fell in love, it felt different, like it had purpose. She believed in him, in them. She stood by him when he quit his secure job to build a startup from scratch. While he chased his dreams, she worked long hours as a school teacher, balancing bills and late nights, often surviving on 3 hours of sleep and faith alone. She never once complained, because she believed love meant sacrifice. For 5 years, she gave everything. Her money, her time, her emotional bandwidth. She skipped trips with friends, paused her own dreams of studying abroad, and waited, always waited, for their perfect time. And whenever Arjun said, "Just a little more, Maya, I promise, I'll make it all worth it," she believed him. Not because she was naive, but because she was in love. And sometimes, love makes you blind to the cracks. But things started changing. Subtle things at first. He stopped texting her good morning. Calls went unanswered for hours. The intimacy faded, not just physically, but emotionally. When she'd ask if he was okay, he'd say, "You're overthinking." When she'd question why he was so distant, he'd accuse her of being insecure. She began to doubt herself. Maybe she was being too clingy. Maybe she had changed. The gaslighting worked, and she began to shrink into a quieter version of herself. Then came the night everything fell apart. She had a strange feeling in her gut that day, a woman's instinct, some might call it. Arjun had been acting distant for weeks, but that night he lied, said he had a late business dinner. But his location was still shared on Google Maps from months ago. Out of curiosity, or desperation, she checked. He wasn't at any restaurant. He was at an apartment building across town. Her hands shook as she stared at the screen. Still, she tried to suppress the worst. But the truth doesn't hide forever. She drove there, heart pounding louder than the engine. And there it was, his car, parked outside. She waited for hours in the dark, alone in her car, watching. At 11:43 p.m., he came out. Not alone. A woman followed, younger, dressed like she had nowhere to be but everywhere to show off. They kissed, casually, like it was normal. Like Maya didn't exist. Like 5 years of loyalty, patience, and sacrifice. Didn't matter. Maya didn't confront him that night. She drove back home, eyes dry, heart in shreds. The next morning, she packed every memory, every promise, and every lie into a box and left it at his doorstep. No letter, no screaming match, just silence, the kind that echoes louder than any words could. Arjun called, begged, tried to explain, said it just happened, that he was confused, that she wasn't fun anymore, that he didn't know what he wanted. But Maya had heard enough. She realized then she wasn't betrayed by a stranger. She was betrayed by the man she once built a future around. And somehow, that's worse. It took months to rebuild, to unlearn the pain, to believe she was not the reason he cheated, that his disloyalty was not a reflection of her worth. She started over, not with revenge, but with power. She traveled, wrote her pain into poetry, turned it into purpose. And one day, while sipping coffee alone in a cozy bookstore, she smiled, not because it didn't hurt anymore, but because it didn't control her anymore. Sometimes the worst betrayals teach us the most beautiful lessons. That being soft is not weakness, and loving deeply does not mean you deserved the pain. Maya rose, not like a phoenix from ashes, but like a woman who remembered who the hell she was before she ever met him.